Hello everyone, Namaste. Welcome back to my channel AcademicTuber. Today we are going to discuss Unit 16 from Grade 10 Science, that is Blood Circulatory System. Before that, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe this channel, and for more updates, hit the bell icon. If you want more videos related to this, please like and do share this video among your friends, and don't forget to give your valuable response in comment section. Here in this unit, we are going to discuss blood circulatory system, its structure and function of blood, heart and its structure, blood vessel, blood circulation and its type, blood pressure, diabetes, and uric acid. Circulatory system. The group of organs which helps in transportation of nutrients and oxygen to the tissue and collect their waste products is called circulatory system. It is also called internal transportation system. The circulatory system consists of blood, heart, and blood vessels. Blood. The fluid connected tissue which consists of 55% plasma and 45% blood cell is called blood. It is 4.5 to 6 liters in volume in a healthy adult in average. Plasma. The transparent pale yellowish fluid which consists of 90% water and 10% other solid substances like protein, fats, minerals, and carbohydrates is called plasma. Major function of plasma. It transports digested food to different organs and tissue of the body. It removes a major portion of carbon dioxide from the tissue. It regulates body temperature. It contains proteins like fibrinogens and prothrombin, which helps in the clotting of blood at cuts on wounds. Composition of blood. Blood cells. There are three types of blood cells. They are Rbc, Wbc, and platelets. Red blood cells, erythrocytes. Shape: circular, biconcave, and disc-shaped. Nucleus: they have no nucleus. Number: 45 to 50 lakh in each cubic millimeter. Formation: they are formed in bone marrow. Destroyed: they are destroyed in the liver and spleen. Lifespan: about 4 months, that is 120 to 127 days. Function: they carry oxygen from the lungs to the body tissue for respiration. Disorder: anemia if RBC are less in count. What is bone marrow? The semi-solid particles present inside the bone is called bone marrow. What is hemoglobin? The iron-rich pigments that makes blood red in color is called hemoglobin. White blood cells, leukocytes. Shape: irregular in shape. Color: it may be colorless. Nucleus: they have nucleus. Number: 8,000 to 10,000 in its cubic millimeter. Formation: they are formed in the bone marrow and lymph glands. Destroy: they are destroyed in liver and spleen. Lifespan: about 15 days. Function: they help to increase the immunity system of the body. It destroys the damaged cells. Disorder: leukemia, blood cancer, and leukopenia. Types of white blood cells. There are two types of white blood cells. They are granular and non-granular. So granular white blood cells is organ of three types: neutrophils, basophils, eosinophils. Whereas non-granular WBC, it is of two types. They are lymphocytes and monocytes. Platelets, thrombocytes. Shape: round or oval. Color: colorless. Nucleus: they have no nucleus. Number: 2 to 4 lakh in each cubic millimeter. Formation: they are formed in red bone marrow as well as yellow bone marrow. Destroy: they are destroyed in spleen. Lifespan: about 2 to 3 days. Function: they play an important role in case of bleeding and healing of wounds. Disorder: hemophilia. Function of blood. Blood circulates in the body performing three major functions. They are: transportation. It carries oxygen from the lungs to all the tissue for respiration. It also carries nutrients and hormones to all parts of the body. It collects the waste forms from cell and tissue and transport to the excretory organs. Regulation. It regulates the body temperature, amount of water and salt inside our body. Protection. It protects the body from different methods and helps in clotting of blood by means of fibrinogens and prothrombin. Differences between RBC and WBC. RBC, it is small and biconcave in shape, whereas WBC, they are large and irregular in shape. RBC, hemoglobin is present in it, whereas in WBC, hemoglobins, they are absent. RBC, they don't have nucleus, whereas WBC, they have nucleus. RBC carry oxygen from lungs to various cells, whereas WBC, it fights with diseases and germs. Difference between blood cell and plasma. Blood cell, it is a body fluid connective tissue, whereas plasma, it is a blood liquid component. Blood cells, it is red in color, whereas plasma, it is yellow color. Blood cell contain RBC, WBC and platelets, whereas plasma, it contains protein like fibrinogens and prothrombin. So here are some reasoning questions. The people of Himalayan region has red cheeks. Why? It is because at high altitude there is less oxygen and people of that region have adapted to carry more oxygen in their body. For it, they have more RBC, so they have red cheeks. A person suffering from anemia feels weakness even after a short walk. Why? It is because the number of RBCs in the blood of such people is very few. Due to this, their blood cannot carry sufficient oxygen for the required amount of energy for the body. Donated blood is treated with sodium citrate. Why? It is because in the donated blood, fibrinogens is removed to avoid blood clotting. Sodium citrate works as an anticoagulant. Color of the blood in the pulmonary arteries is purple. Why? It is because the color of the oxygenated blood is scarlet and that of deoxygenated blood is purple. The pulmonary arteries carry deoxygenated blood from heart to the lungs, which is purple in color. Heart. It is a hollow muscular organ which consists of cardiac muscles. It is situated in the middle of the chest cavity just below diaphragm and between the two lungs. It is a cone-shaped and as big as our closed fist in size. It is covered with a double-layered membranous sac called pericardium, which is thin and transparent. A narrow cavity between these two layers is called pericardial cavity. It is filled with a watery fluid, pericardial fluid. The fluid performs two main functions. They are: it allows frictionless movement of the heart, it protects the heart from mechanical injury and shocks. Function of different parts of heart. First, function of the fourth chamber of heart. Right auricle. It receives deoxygenated blood from different parts of the body and pump it into the right ventricle. Right ventricle. It receives deoxygenated blood from the right auricle and pump it into the lungs for its purification. Left auricle. It receives oxygenated blood from the lungs and pump it into the left ventricle. Left ventricle. It receives oxygenated blood from the left ventricle and pumps it into the different parts of the body. Function of four blood vessels of the heart. Vena cavas. They transfer deoxygenated blood from different parts of the body to the right auricle of the heart. Pulmonary arteries. They carry deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle of the heart to the lungs for its purification. Pulmonary veins. They carry oxygenated blood from lungs to the left auricle of the heart. Aorta. It carries pure blood from left ventricle of the heart to different parts of the body. Function of four valves of the heart. Tricuspid, right auriculoventricular valve. It blocks the backflow of blood from the right ventricle to the right auricle when ventricles are contracted. Bicuspid, mitral or left auriculoventricular valve. It blocks the backflow of blood from the left ventricle to the left auricle when ventricles are contracted. Pulmonary or pulmonic valve. It blocks the backflow of blood from the pulmonary arteries to the right ventricle when the ventricles are relaxed. Aortic valve. It blocks the backflow of blood from aorta to the left ventricle when the ventricles are relaxed. Working mechanism of heart. The heart is divided into four chambers and has valves that allow the blood to flow in one direction only. The upper two chambers with relatively thin walls are called atrium. The lower two chambers with thick muscular walls are called ventricles. The right ventricle pumps the blood to the lungs where carbon dioxide is removed and oxygen is absorbed. The left atrium receives oxygen-rich blood as it comes back to the heart from the lungs and is pushed into the left ventricle. The left ventricle pumps this blood to the rest of the body. So here is the diagrammatic representation of blood circulation in human body. After purification in lungs, oxygenated blood, that is pure blood through pulmonary veins, reaches left auricle. From left auricle through bicuspid valve, blood goes to left ventricle, and from left ventricle it goes to aorta through aortic valve and circulates in different parts of the body and gets deoxygenated. Then deoxygenated impure blood from different parts of the body through inferior and superior vena cava goes to the right auricle. From right auricle, blood goes to right ventricle through tricuspid valve. Then through pulmonary valve, blood goes to pulmonary artery and to the lungs for purification, and the process continues. Blood vessels. The hollow and tubular vessels through which blood flows are called blood vessels. They circulate the blood from heart to the body tissue and from tissue to the heart. And the blood vessels are of three types. They are arteries, veins, capillaries. Arteries. The blood vessels which carry oxygenated blood away from the heart except pulmonary artery are called arteries. Characteristics of arteries. They are thick-walled and elastic in nature. They are deeply seated in the body and have no valves. They carry pure blood except pulmonary artery. Veins. The blood vessel which brings the deoxygenated blood into the heart from different parts of the body are called veins. Characteristics of veins. They are thin-walled and less elastic in nature. They are superficial in our body and have bulbs. They carry impure blood except pulmonary veins, which carry pure blood. Difference between arteries and veins. Arteries. It is involved in carrying oxygenated blood except for pulmonary artery, whereas in veins, it is involved in carrying deoxygenated blood except for pulmonary vein. Arteries, they are thick-walled, whereas veins, they are thin-walled. Arteries, they are elastic in nature, whereas veins, they are less elastic in nature. Arteries, they are deeply seated in our body and they do not have valves, whereas veins, they are superficial in our body and have valves. Capillaries. The thin and fine network of blood vessels formed by the branching of arterioles and venules are called capillaries. They connect arteries to the vein. They provide definite path for the flow of blood. Branches of artery are known as the arterioles and branches of veins are known as the venules. As we know, blood flow at high pressure in the arteries. When the blood enters the capillaries, the blood pressure increases in it. Because of this pressure, the walls of the capillaries expand and the pores on them becomes large, through which molecules of glucose, water, oxygen, hormones, etc. are filtered out. In this way, cell and tissue get the required things from the blood. Where are bicuspid and tricuspid valve located? Bicuspid valve, it is located between the left atrium and left ventricle, whereas tricuspid valve, it is located between the right atrium and right ventricle. Where are RBC formed and destroyed? Red blood cells are formed in bone marrow and they are destroyed in liver and spleen. What is the function of pericardium? It keeps the heart fixed in place within chest cavity. What happens if pericardial fluid decreases? If pericardial fluid decreases, it may cause shortness of blood, lightheadedness, or fainting. Write the name of valves that are found in human heart. So there are 4 valves found in human heart. They are tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve, pulmonary valve, and aortic valve. What is anemia? How does it occur? Anemia is a condition in which you lack enough healthy red blood cells to adequate oxygen to your body's tissue. It occurs when a person doesn't have the normal amount of red blood cells or if the person is low on hemoglobin. Rupturing of arteries is dangerous. Why? Because the blood flows with a great force and pressure in arteries. If arteries get injured, large amount of oxygenated blood is lost through bleeding. The wall of left ventricle is thicker than that of right ventricle. Why? Because it has to pump the blood further around the body and against higher pressure compared with right ventricle. Difference between pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. Pulmonary artery, they are thick and elastic, whereas pulmonary veins, they are thin. Walls of pulmonary veins, they are thin. Pulmonary artery, they carry deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to the heart, right ventricle of the heart to the lungs, whereas pulmonary vein, they carry oxygenated blood from lungs to the left auricle of the heart. Differences between auricles and ventricles. Auricles, it refers to the structure of the atrium of the heart resembling an earlobe. It, whereas ventricles, it refers to the lower chamber of the heart. Auricles, it is less muscular or consists of a thin wall, whereas ventricles, they are more muscular than the auricles. Auricles, it helps to collect blood from the body, whereas ventricles, it pumps blood to the corresponding part of the body. Difference between bicuspid and tricuspid valve. Bicuspid valve, it blocks the backflow of blood from the left ventricle to the right auricle whereas tricuspid valve, it blocks the backflow of blood from the right ventricle to the right auricle. Bicuspid valve, it consists of 2 cups, whereas tricuspid valve, it consists of 3 cups. Blood circulation. The circulation of blood in human takes place through two routes mainly. They are systematic circulation and pulmonary circulation. Systematic circulation. The circulation of blood between heart and different parts of the body except lungs is called systemic circulation. When the ventricle contracts, the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle is pumped to different parts of the body through the aorta. After providing the necessary components to the cell and tissue, the blood returns to the right auricle with the waste material through the vena cavas. The auricles are relaxed in this situation. Pulmonary circulation. The circulation of the blood between the heart and lungs is called pulmonary circulation. When the ventricle contracts, the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle is pumped to the lungs through pulmonary artery for its purification. After the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, the blood is purified and it comes back to the left auricle of the heart when the auricles are relaxed. Heartbeat. The combined term of one contraction and one relaxation of heart muscles is called a heartbeat. Heartbeat rate. The number of heartbeats in 1 minute is called heartbeat rate. The normal heartbeat rate in an adult is about 70 to 80 times per minute, but the rate varies according to the position of the body. Blood pressure. The pressure exerted by the flow of blood on the walls of arteries is called blood pressure. Blood pressure is of 2 types. They are systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressure. Systolic blood pressure. The pressure of blood on the artery of that condition of the heart when ventricles are contracted is called systolic blood pressure. In a healthy person, its value is 100 to 140 mm of Hg. Diastolic blood pressure. The pressure of the blood on the arteries of that condition of the heart when ventricles are relaxed is called diastolic blood pressure. In a healthy person, its value is 60 to 90 mm of Hg. The instrument which is used to measure the blood pressure is a sphygmomanometer. If the blood pressure of a person is 120 by 80 mm of Hg, it means that their systolic blood pressure is 120 mm of Hg and diastolic blood pressure is 80 mm of Hg. High blood pressure, hypertension. The blood pressure more than the normal condition is called high blood pressure. In this condition, the lower limit of blood pressure exceeds 90 mm of Hg and the upper limit of blood pressure exceeds 140 mm of Hg. So here are some of the causes of high blood pressure. Regular intake of oily, fatty and salty food, bad habits like smoking, drinking alcohol, etc. Health problems like kidney disorder, mental tension, etc. Lack of physical exercise, genetic heredity. Here are some of the symptoms of high blood pressure. First, nausea. Second, headache. Third one, double vision. Preventive measures of high blood pressure. By doing regular exercises, by eating healthy food that are low in calories, by avoiding drinks like soda, cold drink, alcohol and smoking. Diabetes, blood sugar. The disease that causes imbalance in the level of sugar in blood is called diabetes. Its normal body ranges before meal uh, 70 to 90 milligram per deciliter preprandial and less than 140 milligram per deciliter after meal. Causes. It develops in those people who take too much carbohydrate in their food and do not perform physical labor or exercise. Tension, worries, and much idleness may also result in diabetes. It is also a hereditary disease and is more likely to be found in those people whose parents are diabetic. Symptoms: frequent urination, frequent thirst of water, gradual decrease in the body weight. Prevention: people should have a habit of doing regular exercise, walking, jogging, etc. Unnecessary quarrels, arguments, worries, and tensions should be avoided. Consumption of sweet products should be discouraged. Uric acid. The acid produced in the body as a byproduct due to the decomposition of purine is called uric acid. The normal uric acid levels are 3.5 to 7.2 mg per deciliter in men and 2.6 to 6 mg per deciliter in women. Purine is an important chemical substance for our body because it provides protein to the body. Uric acid protects the inner part of the body vessels and helps to remove toxins from the body. If the body produces too uric acid and cannot be removed from the body through urine, a person suffers from uric acid. The condition of having high level of uric acid in blood is called hyperuricemia. Causes: having a family history of gut, being overweight, having kidney problems. Symptoms: intense joint pain, redness, tenderness, and swelling of the joints, joint pain that lasts a few days to few weeks and is spread to more joints over time. Prevention and controls: consumption of lemon juice, cherries, and dark berries helps to reduce it. Drinking plenty of water. Now I have included few short questions that might be asked in 1 marks. First one, hemoglobin. It is a pigment present in blood due to which the RBC are red in color. Hemophilia. It is a genetic disorder in which the blood loses its ability to clot, leading to slow and persistent bleeding. Anemia. It is a condition when a person's body has fewer amount of red blood cells. Human immune system. It is a group of WBC and antibodies working together to resist disease. Thrombosis. It is increase in the number of platelets which causes blood to clot in the blood vessels. Thrombocytopenia. It is decrease in the number of platelets which may cause spontaneous bleeding from the injured part. Leukopenia. It is a disease due to the less number of WBC in blood than average count. Leukemia. It is a condition in which the WBC count of blood is more than average. It is also called blood cancer. Thromboplastin. It is a chemical which is released by the thrombocytes in presence of atmospheric oxygen and initiates the process of clotting of blood. Pulse. The rate of heartbeat which can be felt at different parts of an artery is called pulse. Bone marrow. It is a viscous fluid found inside the bone that produces blood. Albumin. It is the most abundant protein in plasma which maintains normal viscosity, pressure, and volume of blood. Globulin. It is manufactured in the lymph cell which consists antibodies and provides immunity against infection. Fibrinogen and thrombogen. They are essential for clotting of blood in wounds. Heparin. It prevents blood clotting inside the blood vessels. Serum. The blood plasma which does not contain fibrinogens is called serum. Systole and diastole. The contraction of heart is called systole and its relaxation is called diastole. By this, we have completed notes of this unit, blood circulatory system in human body. I hope this video was useful to you. If you like this video, please share with your friends and don't forget to subscribe. Hope to get your suggestion regarding this video in comment section. See you on next video. Thank you.